Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
Hey, forgot what name.
Yes, we're bringing the haze back. We're getting the jitters out, the tee-hees out. So that's why we're bringing the haze back. Yes, there we go. This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down one of their records. We get into the music, lyrics, how it was made, and everything in between. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on the YouTubes, you smash that subscribe button, dude. That's what the kids say. That's all I have for the boring intro. Jeff is just having a blast. But we're still in prog season. We're still having kind of a good time in prog season. And we have a few more weeks ahead of us. Can't say for certain. And then we're getting into self-titled season. So that'll be fun. But yeah, prog season. What are we doing this week, Jeff? Go.
We're doing Hawkwind.
You almost forgot what we were doing, huh?
I forgot the name of the band for a second.
So yes, we're doing Hawkwind. Their album Warrior on the Edge of Time. Their 5th record from 75? 74?
75.
Yes, so this is some consider their best record. This is kind of a prog classic as well, and that's why we're getting into it. And you love Hawkwind. I'm not the biggest fan of Hawkwind, but you love them, and that's why we're doing it. So, because we were supposed to do a different band this week. You're like, okay, I don't like it. I don't like what I'm listening to. You're throwing a little bitch fit about it.
Dude, I'm not even going to lie. That band is not very good.
Let's just say Mastodon. We were supposed to do Mastodon this week.
I think
Jeff was throwing a little bitch fit.
I think it's not fair that we did them after just such heavy hitting, like prog metal bands, because it was like watching like the NBA and then watching like the best college basketball team and then watching like B team of the WNBA. Like it was so dumb, and it wasn't like bad or nothing. But I was like, damn, this is just fucking. This is elementary.
It's very good. I like Mastodon. I think you're totally crazy. But
usually like we do an album of the week, I think like, okay, at least if we do the album of the week, I can listen to it a couple times, and if we kind of dive into it or whatever, it might be a vinyl buy, right? And a lot of I mean, at least for me, I think you're kind of stuck in your ways. It's not a big deal or anything, but I think for me, whenever I hear like a new album that especially if we do on the album of the week, I usually tend to want to buy it on the vinyls because we spend a lot of time with it, and inevitably we like it more. Yeah. With that Leviathan record, I listened to that one twice, and then went back and listened to their first record, and I was just like, dude, there's honestly nothing. There was not one song here that
crazy.
I gave a shit about. Not even one.
That's just crazy. Leviathan is just such an incredible record. Wild. But anyway.
Listen to a different Mastodon Leviathan. I don't know.
I must have. I don't know. You must have listened to like, Mastodon Light or something, or some cover band. Who knows? So yeah, anyway. We're not doing Mastodon. We are doing Hawkwind because this is so much better. And like I said, their album Warrior on the Edge of Time. So let's get into our origin story with Hawkwind and first impressions of this record, Warrior. So what do you got? Go.
My origin story is Alien 4. Some guy brought in a massive Hawkwind collection, and it had pretty much every single record through like the 80s. And the one that I thought was so, like the cover art was so ugly, because they do have really cool cover art for the most part.
Great cover art.
But the one that's like was just so stupid was this Alien 4 record from the 90s. And I was like, this is ugly. This is dumb. And it's kind of it's like $100, $120 record. I was like, this is stupid. So I listened to it, and I thought like, damn, this is fucking pretty rad, actually. I wonder what their early stuff sounds like. And then I was like, damn, this is really rad, actually. But like, obviously we've heard Hawkwind before, and we did Motorhead in the pod and whatever, but like that's my first like true real introduction to Hawkwind.
Yeah. Okay. My origin story, it had to have been many years ago when I first discovered Motorhead and heard that Lemmy was in Hawkwind, and over the years I've tried to get into them. I've tried to play certain records, and just none of it clicked with me. I can't even tell you what records I've tried to listen to in the past, but I've tried to listen to the ones that at least Lemmy was on. Never got into it, and I've never taken a deep dive into them until this last week when we decided to do it. And in the end, it's fine. The 70s stuff from Hawkwind, that's all I listened to, those first 9 records, plus Alien 4. It's fine. I think they're B-tier prog. I don't think they hold a candle to the heavy hitters like Crimson and Floyd and, Genesis and Rush and all that kind of stuff. But they're fine. They're fine. I think this record is fine. I don't think there's anything on this record. I guess this goes into my first impressions on Warrior. But I don't think there's anything on here that really, really stands out outside of the fact that some of the stuff was used in Motorhead a couple years later or a year later. That's my origin story, first impression. What do you got on your first impression of this record?
This is not a band that prides itself on musicianship. To compare him to Crimson is not entirely
it's not
fair, because I feel you can have prog like in your delivery, and then you can also have prog just in the way you play things, just how good you are, right? Like Gojira, whatever, versus BT Bam, right? Those are kind of two different
types
approaches
of
to prog metal.
Yeah.
Hawkwind, they're not good. Like, these guys aren't like virtuosos at their instruments, but I don't think they ever wanted to be, or ever even they wanted to lead us not into temptation, but deliver us. They never put on that they're good at their instruments. They just wanted to put on a cool performance. And like the only contemporaries you could compare the space proggy shit to is like Pink Floyd, and then like Pink Floyd were better musicians than these guys were. But these guys took space rock and did something that no one has done before. They elevated it. What do you mean? That's everything.
Like their only claim to fame is like they kind of created this space rock.
That's the thing. That's the whole
But it doesn't
point
make
of
them
this.
okay. But they're
and
not.
Like they influenced so many space rock bands after this. Like, what are you fucking? Are you high? Did you fall down, hit your stupid head again? Like, that's the point of this band. This band's not to like show you, oh, we have great guitarists, we have great singers, we're great lyricists.
Okay,
dude,
I get
it's just
that. We don't need
it's just
that.
cool space rock.
It's fine.
What don't you understand about that?
It's fine space rock. It's
campy.
The
best.
It's campy. It's fun.
It's best space rock. It is the best. It's better than Gong. It's better than Spaceman 3.
Okay,
it's better
fair.
than anything
Fair.
contemporary. It is the best space rock. And at its heart, space rock should be goofy. It's space. Space is always a little bit goofy. We've never been there. Humans have never been to space.
It's true. You're right.
So you're judging this too harsh. You're watching like the Little League.
No,
you're watching like the Little League World Series. And you're like,
I'm not judging this too harshly,
suck, dude.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Like,
I'm
you're
not
judging it too harsh.
Fuck off.
Unfairly. Yeah.
Get
for
fucked.
Sure.
I'm
for
not.
sure. You are.
I'm not judging too harshly. This is literally just a B tier prog band. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We have, the pop punk realm. We have MXPX. We have Lagwagon. Yes, they're B tier. That's fine.
Yeah, but
you can have
still,
B-tier
MXPX didn't invent anything, or they didn't even progress anything.
I don't care if they invented it. It doesn't mean it's great. Just because you invent something doesn't mean it's great.
I'm not saying it's great.
But
I'm
you're
not
acting
saying
like
you're saying it's great.
But you're
I'm not
acting
saying
like
anything.
it is.
All I'm saying is when
but
you say
you're acting
things
like it is.
Like they didn't do anything, they're just like MXPX. No, actually,
I didn't say
something.
they didn't do anything.
Actually, they did do something. Actually, they did do something important, and that's silly boy talk. You're judging them too harshly because A, you just don't like the music.
I'm not judging them
and
harshly.
B,
I'm
they're
judging
not
them
good at the
appropriately.
guitar. So come on, bro. You're missing the forest to the trees here.
I could
That's
give
what's
two
happening.
shits about the guitar. I that's not even some of my favorite parts of this record, because the guitar is almost non-existent on this record. You might as well not even have a guitarist on this record.
I'd be down for the guitar.
Yeah,
Give me 2 cents, baby.
It's barely even on here. The guitar is the least important part of this record.
Give me 2 cents and an organ. Get rid of everybody else.
In the end, I think this is B tier. This is B tier prog, B tier, just B tier prog. But anyway, let's get into
Mastodon's fucking A tier, S tier.
I would put Mastodon in A tier. I put Mastodon in A tier. I'm not gonna get crazy.
C tier.
Get the fuck out of here. Get fucked.
They don't do anything, and they don't even do good metal prog. They don't even do prog very well.
Anyway,
There's
You're
not a lot to
boring.
talk about here.
I know there is.
We're not going to dive in here and like find some hidden gem. Or,
This is
and you're like, oh wow, I never thought of that. Like,
there are
that's not
2
gonna happen
long
here.
songs. One song, the first song, "Assault and Battery," which is really a combination of 2 songs, is 10 minutes and 8 seconds, and then we have Magnu, which is 8 minutes and 15 seconds. But otherwise, all of these songs are around 3 minutes, if not shorter. But this album still clocks in at 47 minutes, or just over 47 minutes. So this is
Clean
not the
47
traditional prog album we've been doing during prog season. So we don't really have to go through every song individually because there's no overarching story.
There kind of is.
I don't really think there is. I mean, these songs are based off of a book, a fantasy novel and novella that was written back in the 60s and 70s and shit, or the 60s really, I think. But there's no overarching theme or concept. I don't know, or that ties all the songs into each other. There's no ebbs and flows. Unless you have something, unless you read or feel differently about the way this record is sequenced and everything. What is the napkin? What is this napkin? Why?
I spilled a little bit of lime here. I can fucking try to clean it up. And have a bunch of
Fucking
extra
animal.
napkins.
But it's like, okay, so we did
Yes.
Gojira. We did Gojira a couple weeks ago. And yeah, that record was a concept record, and every song flowed into the next, and it told a story front to back. That's what it did. Last week we
This
did
is
BT
loose,
Bam.
but it does too.
Okay, I mean, okay, then get into it
And
because
we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
I didn't make those connections. But fuck it,
That's
let's
okay.
Let's go top to bottom. Start with number 1. Who cares?
Salt
Assault and Battery,
baby.
The Golden Void.
Battery.
Essentially 2 songs.
Salt and
So-
Battery Part 1 and then the Golden Voice Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are
So what do you got on
essentially
this
the same
one?
song. Yeah, dude. Deep groove to start off with. It's fun. It's
Yes.
cool. Some flute action. Gotta like that. And I like
Nice.
the main riff. Just simple 4-note climb, right? It's easy to get into. These guys aren't virtuosos.
They're not.
They just make dope
They're
ass
not
music.
yes. They're not yes.
They're not yes. Okay, so stop treating them like they are. But
I'm
they
not
are
treating them like
innovative though. Like they are. Like you're discounting the whole fact that like these guys took something that was already existed, and then like holy shit blew it up into something grand, huge, very huge. The song drives forward without much deviation. It's good. We get the note matching in the vocals, but
Yeah.
it's all about like building momentum here, and it all plays into the opening of this record, and it's good. It is a 2-parter. I don't know. You want to go lyric? You want me to give you the whole story first, and then go lyric?
Also musically, with the 2 longer songs and this song and Magnu, they're very. It ebbs and flows. It goes. There's a lot of fluctuation in the song where you'll have like 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes of like verses and choruses, pretty cool stuff in this particular song, and then you'll go into like a minute instrumental, like almost a minute to the fucking second. You'll get like an instrumental, and you'll have like the flautist or the violinist going off and kind of doing their thing, and then it'll just drop back into another verse and chorus or whatever it is, and then we'll get another minute instrumental. So there's some good stuff that goes back and forth, ups and downs within this song, which is really cool. Lyrically though, it was based off of, or some of the lyrics came from a poem from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's A Psalm of Life.
Longfellow.
And that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And then the second part was, from the book Eternal Champion, which was from Michael Moorcock.
Michael Moorcock.
Michael Moorcock wrote that book, and that's what this overall theme and concept of this record is. It comes from that book, which I did put on my read list on Goodreads.
I figured you probably like instantly like. Oh,
so I'm going to read this book. I'm going to read this book sometime this year, but because it sounds cool. I like
because
high
I'm
fantasy.
going to tell you what the story is. So like even after I tell you the spoilers,
still
and
gonna
everything, you're still going to read it.
I'm still going to read it because I like high fantasy a lot. I like that genre, so I'll probably read this.
But you hate Lord of the Rings. I don't know why you want.
I love. I think Lord of the Rings. I think Lord of the Rings is objectively the greatest modern story told. I think Lord of the Rings is just beyond incredible. But it's the greatest fantasy novel ever written, better than Harry Potter. Which is, Harry Potter's not. It's not a fair comparison because that's not high fantasy, but
and stupid
fantasy in general. I think Lord of the Rings is better than Star Wars. I think it's better than the. It's part of the big 3, but the best of the big 3 of Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is the the best written story, hands down, easily.
I don't know. Harry Potter's dumb, dude.
But
And I read
damn,
the
dude,
first
books,
two, baby boy.
The books are really good, man.
I read the first two.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
That's fine.
'Cause
But it's still,
I'm a reader.
it's a great fantasy novels. Great fantasy
There's
novels.
just too many kids. Why is always kids about everything? Always fucking kids.
Kids.
Good Lord. Kids are dumb.
But even like Frodo in Lord of the Rings, he's not technically a kid.
They're old.
But he's still no, I mean, yeah, the hobbits live longer than humans, but they're still like considered kids.
Why, because they're small? It's fucking racist. So anyway, the story this is based on is like you said, it's a fantasy thing, and it's about a guy who wakes up and he's a normal dude, but then all of a sudden he gets these weird visions, and he kind of comes to realize that he's actually this reincarnate of himself that's been done hundreds of times, like Matrix style, just over and over and over. This happens, and so he gets called off to this other planet or some plane of existence where he has to essentially fight these bad guys because the humans at this other world say he should fight these bad guys, but then he kind of realized like, hey, the bad guys you told me that they're bad guys are not actually bad guys. Like, you're kind of being a dick right now. And then he has to have this big kind of like fuck, man, do I help humanity eradicate these bad guys just because these are my people, or do I say fuck humanity and help the bad guys kill humanity, but that means the destruction of my people, therefore like my race will never go on. Mm-hmm. He does choose not to help the humans, and the human race gets demolished. Spoilers.
I mean, it's fine. I'm still going to read it.
That's the overall gist of the story. There's a lot of nuance to it, obviously, because it's a book, and God forbid you tell a fucking story without spending 30 hours doing it. But anyway, Assault and Battery, Part 1. I think it's just like the intro, right? And the Golden Void. Yeah. This is just the intro, setting up the story here. Again, it's a loose concept thing anyway.
Very, very.
We're just. Yeah. Oh, he's called the Champion. Like, this guy's called his name. He has an actual name, and his name's like Jeff. But then he has his name that was like him 100 years ago, which is like
I forgot what the name was.
And then like they just called that person the Champion,
the Eternal Champion.
Like, yes. But like that's the title that he has, right? Like, he's the Eternal Champion. Like, oh, he's fucking Superman, but Superman has a real name.
Clark Kent.
Well, that's not his real name, but that's okay.
What is Superman's
human
real name? I know, but what is I don't remember what Superman's real name is.
I think it's Kal
from Krypton.
Kal.
Is it?
I don't remember.
Superman's one of the most boring superheroes anyway.
Nah, dude, Superman's dope.
No, he's so boring. He's too powerful.
I've fallen in love with Superman, but he's not powerful though, right? Because the thing that like will destroy anybody is right here. And he feels just like anybody else, right deep in his heart. And yeah, he's powerful and he can do whatever the fuck he wants to anybody that he wants. That's why everybody kind of hates him, and that's why anything he does gets scrutinized, and he can't even just be himself. And it's sad. And he's a lonely, lonely superhero. Superman's dope. Kal-El. It's gonna bother me now. When you talk at some point, I'll look it up. Or you can.
I thought you just looked it up right now.
No, I think it's Kal-El.
That sounds about right, actually. Yeah.
Assault and Battery and the Golden Void, I think, is just kind of like setting up what's going to happen here. But then, yeah, we'll get to the Wizard. The Wizard. All
right, so yeah, the Wizard blew his horn. This is just under 2 minutes long. This is just a soundscape with just spoken word, but it's echoed, and there's all these effects on the voice, and there's not much here, but it's more of a transition into Opaloka. So I would say this is kind of an interlude on the actual record, and this goes along more of the theme of Michael Moorcock's book, Eternal Champion. So I don't know.
Yeah, one, it is Kal-El.
There you go. You got it.
One. And then two, this like you said, going along with the theme of the record, the champion is now getting called to do what he is destined to do. Because in the book that I read the synopsis of, it says that he has like a normal family, like a wife and kids. And in the book, or in the synopsis, it even makes a point to say like, but they're never mentioned again. Which I could see like in the book. It probably sets up his whole home life, and then it never talks about him ever again, which is like, that's fucking weird, right? But also in the book, he transforms, like his mind stops being Clark Kent and starts to become Kal-El. Right, it starts to like his old self, whatever. But this is like he's getting called here. He's getting called to action. Somebody is calling the champion, and that's the wizard blew his horn.
Yep.
What a cool fucking name title too, right? The wizard blew his horn.
It is a really cool thing. Yeah,
God
I think
damn,
anything
bro.
with wizards. I think anything with wizards is really cool. It's
So
really
cool.
cool. But yeah, the earth is being corrupted and it's dying, and that's when the wizard summons the eternal champion. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man. Then we get into Opa Loca, 5 minutes 9 seconds. This song, Lemmy, because Lemmy from Motorhead is on this record, most of this record, but he did say that this is the only song on the record that he was not on. He didn't play bass. He offered nothing to this actual song, and it's an instrumental. It's just this kind of upbeat, like doom ga doom ga doom ga. It's just a simple kind of drum beat, and then just a lot of weaving of these soundscapes, just going in and out, and the panning of it all. Pretty cool. That part's pretty cool.
I think it's building this world, right? If we're taking this as a concept album, as a loose concept album, we're world building at this point. And I think it's a fucking rad lead in from Wizard. Like those 1, 2 is just cool. This sounds cool. This sounds dope. The bass line follows a drum beat. It's monotonous, repetitive. It's very marching like. So I can see why, or like how Lemmy was not involved in this, because Lemmy can't control himself like this. He would have to do something to make it known that he plays bass on this track. But yeah, it just builds and builds. It's not leading anywhere. It's just we're circling right now, right? It's like Star Tours. And you kind of like walking the line and seeing all the gadgets and stuff, and you're seeing, it's cool. It's world building. It's fun. Killer instrumental.
It's cool. So then we get into The Demented Man, 3 minutes 57 seconds. Sometimes they call it The Demented King, but musically this is acoustic guitar, vocals, some soundscapes. That's really all this song is. Very, very Pink Floyd. I think this is one of the best songs on the record. I think this song is really cool. I think it's really, really cool. Where this fits into the story, I don't know, because going through the lyrics, I felt like it's just about depression and sadness, and I couldn't figure out the connection to the overall.
I might read this
concept.
book. Actually, we're doing books now. There's a lot of books.
We are in a book club right now.
Fucking book.
We're in a book club. You and I have our own book club right now.
Yeah.
So, but I
mean, the first fantasy.
Yeah. Would you actually? Because you don't actually read the books. You listen to the books, the audio books of whatever we decide. We switch off every month. I read the actual book. He listens. But you you only ever want to do nonfiction. So I only pick nonfiction because I know you're not going to do fiction.
I will do fiction if you pick it.
Jeff, come on.
We do a lot of dumbass fucking things. We did Deftones one time. Good God.
And we'll do Deftones again.
We do a lot of and I'd probably spend, not too much hours, but a lot of hours listening to shit that I don't want to listen to.
We're getting into self-titled season. Deftones have a self-titled record.
Which one's is that the Beaver one? The Belching Beaver one?
Yeah, yes, with the Dio, was it Dio de los Muertos?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, it's fine. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
Dio.
You can just say Dia de los, and then people just know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so we might get into Deftones for self-titled season. I don't know.
But I would also, I really do, after going through this, it would be kind of cool to read this book. And I think listening to a book, I think the important thing about books is you getting the information out of it, right? And having a little fun while you do it. But the only thing I think is if you're listening to the audiobook, if you do fantasy or fiction, I think because of the person reading it, their inflection could skew your view on how the book is on presenting itself. So it's hindering your creativity, I guess, your imagination. It's hindering your imagination.
Because if you don't have a good narrator or the proper narrator, it could certainly change your view on a story.
But even like if the narrator has a lisp, right? And then he's reading these voices and you're like, oh, that character is kind of a bitch because he has a lisp. That's
so
rude,
stupid. Huh? That was just so dumb.
But then like that hinders your imagination a little bit.
We'll see. We might do this in our book club. I don't know. We're already one book down. We're one book down. We just started our second book for the book club this year.
This will be done lightning fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Demented Man. You asked, you said like, how does this fit in? And then you even brought up like it's. What did you say something about like he's
depression and sadness?
Yeah. Okay, so like in the synopsis that I read, he goes through this time where he's changing from, Clark Kent to Kal-El, and he's like, damn, like I feel like at the rate I'm going to not remember my family, and that's fucking sad. And he's being overwhelmed, and the Demented Man is like him changing. He's questioning kind of what he's doing. Like, is this the right decision? Like, should I really be going off to fucking save the world and wizards and warlocks and shit? Or should I go back with my family? So it's kind of cool that he's torn, right? He's demented. He's tormented inside of himself because he's changing into the champion. So you're right.
Okay. Yes. I'm usually I'm mostly right.
I'm usually always right.
I know. I stopped myself before I finished that. I'm mostly right. I'm right most of the time. Fuck, I can't even speak today. Talking is difficult.
Right about that.
Where are we at? Magnu, yes. 8 minutes, 15 seconds. This is a very Sabbath. Like, it starts with the rain kind of downpour, very Sabbath, where it starts that way. And then a kind of heavy Sabbath-sounding riff to start out the song. And then it just kind of drops into like kind of what you'd expect from Hawkwind, just a driving bass line, pretty cool riff, and then the violin. The violin is what makes this song for me. I love the violin on this. I think it's incredible. It's fucking incredible. And then the big instrumental section of the song, mixing the soundscapes, the wild violin. There's some guitar soloing, which they don't do very often in this band, but it all meshes well. And really, the violin is what. Like I said, it makes this fucking song musically, lyrically.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. I think it really opens up in the second half. The sax has so much verb on it. It makes for a nice kind of weird alien-like sound, like wah, wah, and it's cool. Mix that with the heavy keys, everything else that's going on. It's fucking dope.
It is.
But the song like ends in such a rad spot, like so much like high end and the big middle / end part. That wee wee wee, a lot of wanking in the guitar. And it's, I don't know, like this type of music really does benefit from repetitiveness. Like drive that home, drive that riff home, drive that idea home, do it over and over and over and over. And I think that kind of coincides with like the spacey thing. I don't know why, but it does. Do you get that feeling at all? Is that just
I don't really relate it to the spacey thing. I think the thing that I relate to the spacey theme of the band is the synth. The synth and the soundscapes, that's what makes it spacey to me. Not really anything
But not just
else.
like the repetitive boom, like over and over and over. I think it's because like space is so endless, right? It just goes on for infinity.
Supposedly.
And when you're traveling, I mean, we've never been. So
We've never been to space.
we don't know for sure. So like when you're traveling through space and it's just like you see the same fucking, you see Venus again, you see Venus again, you see Venus again.
Well,
like it's repetitive. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Magnu, what a dope song. Lyrically, this is the champion going to war for his current king. He goes to this new place, and the king is like, oh yeah, dude, these fucking guys are fucking with us right now. Like, we need you. You're our savior. You're gonna lead us to victory. And he's kind of like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, that's really it's what I got was that it's chaos taking over, and it's kind of I feel like it's him calling for help, or maybe it's somebody else calling for help because the chaos is gotten so bad, and they're calling for the champion. Yeah, they're calling for the champion.
Calling for the champion. Who do you call? You call the champion.
So some of the lyrics are based off of or taken from Percy Shelley's Hymn of Apollo, and then also another Slavic folktale called The History of Prince Slugobel, or the Invisible Knight. Some people call it fairy tales of the Slav peasants and herdsmen. So the lyrics are taken from that, based off of that as well. I mean, these guys clearly like poetry. They like folk tales. They like literature. They like fantasy a lot. Science fiction, clearly they love. They're a space rock band. So I think that's really cool that they add so many of their fun little influences, their fun little hobbies into their music. I think that's cool. It certainly adds an element of fun to their music. So
and they have a good time doing it, and it sounds like they have fun. The music's never really too serious, and it's never too complicated,
even though
and too pretentious. It's just fun.
we might as well bring it up now, but was it Steve Brock, the singer or the main guy?
Yeah.
Dude, whatever. He is Hawkwind because he's been the only member of the band. It's been there from 1969 until now. But he just seems kind of like he's hard to be around, hard to deal with. I mean, he's never had really anything nice to say about most of the guys, even like with like reunions.
Everybody wants to do something different, right? Everyone wants to like have their own spin, and they'll hire like musicians that are good at their instruments, but not in Hawkwind. You can't tell like, oh, that's a really good bass player.
Yeah,
like you can't tell on Hawkwind.
It's not like Magma, because like with Magma, what was it? Christian is the drummer. He's the only sole member of the band, but he writes all the music. But he gets these incredible musicians to come in and play with Magma and play on the records and tour with them.
And they're allowed to do so, and they're allowed to be crazy, and
they could do whatever. Magma's insane, but Hawkwind's like Hawkwind's the opposite. Hawkwind is almost like the Black Flag of prog music, where Steve Brock he's good at what he does, much like Greg Ginn is good in Black Flag, but he's not the best, and he just he doesn't really find great musicians to come in and play for Black Flag. He just finds like kind of outside of Henry Rollins. Everybody in Black Flag was just whatever. And that's what Hawkwind is. It's like you have this one sole member who's kind of cool, kind of good, but never really gets anybody great for the band to add to the music.
But like he will get like the bass player they got after Lemmy was like a classically trained bass player.
But he lasted like one album, and then he got in a fight with Brock and then left.
Yeah, because he wasn't allowed to play bass. Brock told him like, no,
that's what I'm saying. It's like this control freak thing.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with being a control freak because look at Les Claypool, look at Omar, look at from Mars Volta, look at like I said, look at the guy from Magma, Christian. I think his name is Christian.
He's protecting the brand.
Yeah, but he's still letting people expand and do their thing. But Steve Brock just it just seems very, very difficult to work with.
I mean, join Hawkwind and play Hawkwind, or don't complain.
And then you look at like on Wikipedia. I love looking at bands' timelines. Like there's always that graph of a timeline.
Oh,
of saying
the graph is the best.
Where bands,
especially when it's horrible.
When members were in a band, it's all color coded and it looks really cool. I love it. But I've never seen anything like Hawkwind. Like there's no band that I know of that I've seen actively looked for where I've seen their timeline on Wikipedia be like 70 different people.
Yeah.
And they're just all these different colors and
there's so many. And some
insane.
Some of them like aren't even on records, right? They'll have I think there's like 4 or 5 drummers in a 8 period of time, and none of them are even on the record or on any records. They're just
especially
musicians.
When they have eras of the band where they have 2 drummers.
Yeah.
This is also a band where you don't need 2 drummers live. Like I could see Crimson, I could see Magma, I could see bands like that needing 2 drummers. Grateful Dead, yeah, another great example of a band where you utilize 2 drummers well. But goddamn, Hawkwind is just not one of those bands. You don't need 2 drummers live or on record. The music's just not there.
Yeah, I said.
But anyway, I just wanted to kind of. You hate when people say "bless you."
It's true.
What are you talking about? Okay, so you have Magnu. Do we have anything else on this one?
No, I'm done with Magnu.
All right, so then we get into Spiral Galaxy at the Edge.
Standing
at the Edge. Sorry, yes, Standing at the Edge. 2 minutes 46 seconds, and this is just that's whatever. It's just soundscapes, echoed spoken word.
It serves the aesthetic. It serves the aesthetic. It's an interlude. I don't know. Like a lot of this stuff too reminds me of Planet of the Apes. It's just very, I don't know, very preachy kind of, right? Like I don't know, big percussive drums in this. But anyway, like this is really just serving the aesthetic. This is the final straw for the champion, like lyrically going into it. This is like the point of no return. He realizes that his quest is to just like literally eradicate this other civilization. I don't remember what they're called, but he's talking to the humans, and the human king is like, "Yeah, dude, we gotta go kill these fucking Minox out here because they're awful." And he's like, "All right, let's go do it." And then so like he sees it, but then he also kind of like he sees like, dude, war kind of fucking sucks, and the humans are kind of slaughtering these Minox. And like in the synopsis they say,
Minox?
I don't know what they're called. I don't remember what they're called.
But you know what a Minox is?
That's why I fucking said it.
Okay,
I don't say things I don't know what it is. Okay,
Oh, sometimes you do.
Never have, never will, never have,
Sometimes you
never
do.
will. Dirty Phil. Yeah, he also sees the humans slaughtering these like children and being horrible to people or Minox, and so he's kind of questioning whether or not he's doing a good thing. And then we'll get to that later on.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I couldn't figure out what was going on with the lyrics. I really don't. I think this is about the time, or maybe the song after this one, where I just kind of thought like I have no idea where this connects with the story, the theme,
okay.
the concept. So I mean, you gotta take hold from here on out. So we get into Spiral Galaxy 24968, 3 minutes and 46 seconds long. Big Sabbath riff, drops into this kind of like shuffle that reminds me of the Zombies, but heavier. Especially since I listened to the Zombies, it's very fresh in my mind after listening to it last week from the record I just got. But yeah, so it very has that Zombies almost shuffle to it, and but just the synth all over it. And then they threw in some flute. They called it a day. Just
called
pretty
it a
simple.
day. Yeah, this is the track that I thought like, damn, dude. Okay, the synth is loud on this one for sure. It's right there. Can't hide it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a jam track. It's the drums kind of doing its own thing, but also giving like there's a lot of screeching going on, right? Because the synth goes like really high, like
It does.
That's
yeah.
cool. It's space prog that fills up space. That's what this is, and it's good.
And it is an instrumental, so there. I mean, unless you think this fits somewhere in the context of the story, I don't know.
This is I imagine this like Fear and Loathing style, just like the champion is just going through some shit. Maybe like a smash, like you made a movie, it'd be like a smash cut of the champion, or even like I don't know who does it, who coined it or whatever, but like the front view, and like the guy's like have the camera facing himself, and he's going like bar to bar, and he's like wiggling like this, and the lights.
Oh,
going
I know
off.
what you're talking about. Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that shop that was very famous in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. And
People
then
love
Fear and
using
Loathing
that
did a
movie.
bunch of it too, like when they're doing drugs and the casino and everything. I imagine that's what's happening here, but he's just going through the motions. He's thinking, because in the story, like the big part of the story is whether or not he's going to help humanity eradicate the Minox, or help the Minox eradicate humanity. And obviously, if he kills humans, then he will also not survive. That's what he thinks, but he does. But that's I think right now he's going through the motions in his mind, debating what he wants to do, pros and cons list type of thing.
Yeah. Okay, then we jump
That's
into
what I got.
Warriors. This is also kind of an interlude, 1 minute and 58 seconds. There's some drumming at the beginning, and then it's just the spoken word with just some crazy filters and noises over over the voice, the spoken word part. And then lyrically, I think this is like the Warriors maybe taking down evil and darkness, or starting to at least fight against the evil and darkness. I don't know. I'm so lost in the story of it all. I really don't know.
Good.
It was
good
hard.
though.
It was hard. But
Very
that's all.
good,
That's what
though.
happened musically. Okay, I'm a crow.
It's a spoken word thing, keeps it kayfabe, and the champion has made up his mind. He is not going to help the king. He thinks they're fools. He thinks the humans are fucked up. He's also found out that the humans invaded this planet. That's not even their planet. They invaded this planet and tried to genocide the Minox. And the Minox are this ancient race that has like technology that can just fuck anybody up like a snap of a finger. But they don't use it because even they realize, like, dude, that's fucked up. We should not use this on people.
Mm.
And so the champion has now made up his mind. He is not going to help the humans.
There you go. I like it. I
That was
like it. No, I think it's great. I mean, so much in 2 minutes. So much in 2 minutes. Okay, so we get into Dying Seas. This is 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Musically, just actually a pretty solid bass line that leads into everybody dropping in. And then there's like this haunting kind of synth and sax part all throughout the song. And then the violin, and then you get to some instrumental sections in the song. I mean, this is a very short song, so the sections are short, but where the violin will go back and forth with the synth and the sax, and it's just kind of all... There's this kind of cool interplay within the instrumental section, which I thought was cool. I thought it was really cool. Lyrically,
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue. I kind of gave up at this point. I have no
That's
idea.
okay. You can give up sometimes. You can half-ass it. I don't
up.
half-ass anything.
This is what you do with Gojira.
But I don't pretend not to half-ass anything.
I didn't pretend. I just literally said this is when I stopped. I didn't pretend.
But you like saying, I don't half-ass anything.
Because I don't.
Yeah. Okay. You even half-ass your fucking memory on your rebuttals and stuff like that. Yeah, I love this transition. Warriors kind of leaves us in this weird, kind of vulnerable spot. I like the hands of the despot.
Mm-hmm.
But the song brings us back to like a familial groove. It's something that just sounds right, sounds promising. We've heard it before early on in the record. And like it's not entirely in a major keys, but it mostly is, so it feels hopeful. And at some point the song just kind of like double times, at least picks up tempo a little bit. And everybody just wanks. Everyone's like, fuck it, let's just go, let's just have fun. Let's just go wild. And I think like going along in the story, this is the champion convincing the alien race, the Minox, to fight back against the humans. And like I said earlier, they had the tech that could easily wipe out the humans in just like 1 millisecond, but they don't use it because it's too fucked up. But this is him saying like, dude, if you don't fucking do this, they will kill all of you, and I can't stop them. And at the end, they do use it on the humans, and so they fuck up all humans. They're all dead. And I mean, just from the synopsis, I'm sure it'll explain in the book when we read it. But I don't know if it's all humans throughout the whole like universe or just this one little spot. I don't know. Whatever. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we will. Then we get into Kings of Speed, 3 minutes 36 seconds. This is the melody here. The chorus is clearly Ace of Spades from Motorhead. Straight up, just took that melody and threw it into Ace of Spades. That song, which is fine. Whatever, who cares?
It's rock and roll, dude.
This is also kind of a rock and roll song, so it makes sense. Cool violin instrumental section too. I thought it was killer. I think this song is really cool. It's a really cool song.
It's a super dope song.
Does this fit anywhere in the context of the story? I feel like this is kind of a throwaway
yes.
song. I feel like this and Motorhead are throwaway songs.
Motorhead's for sure a throwaway song because it served no purpose.
It was also a B-side.
Other than like Lemmy jammed to it in the studio and they all kind of went along with it and it turned out to be fucking dope and they threw it on as a B-side.
Yeah.
But Kings of Speed, yeah, definitely the outlier. The closest you'll hear to a rock and roll song on this record. Still a cool banger. Like, is this punk? Kinda. Is this like speed metal? Kinda. It's fucking rad. It's got a lot of stuff that's going on here. And like lyrically. So like in the book too, the champion finds like a girl and it's like the daughter of the king or some shit. Someone he's not supposed to date. Obviously they fall in love. It's his forbidden love thing. And so he's making all these decisions whether or not to like kill one race or save humanity or whatever. But all along he's like, dude, I just want to go like fucking be with my girl and just chill. And so I think this song, like for me, this song is like, dude, good job. Right? Like the humans are dead now and like, oh, now I can just go fuck my girlfriend and like have a good time and enjoy the rest of my life. And that's what this song sounds like. Because at the end of the book, I think he end up like the Minox kill all the humans, and then he survives and his girlfriend survives, and they just go live out the rest of their life just chilling. This is like credits, right?
Yeah,
like it's like
that's a good point. Yeah, like credit. Yeah, this is the credit. Like the credits are rolling, but there's still video playing behind the credits.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
And like
that makes
he's
sense.
farming, and his girl's in there, and she's like got the pot or something, and she's smiling, and the Minox in the background, like, hey Jimmy.
No,
yeah,
that's exactly like if you're watching a movie, that's what it is. And then when the song Motorhead comes on, then that's when the screen when the screen turns black, but the credits are still rolling.
Yeah,
that's what Motorhead is. It's this little bonus, this bonus section.
Still a banger because Motorhead sounds fucking good. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, yeah, the song Motorhead on here doesn't sound that much different than when the band Motorhead did it a year later. It really doesn't sound that much different. But it's cool. And it's the only song on the record that Lemmy wrote or had any song. I don't think he had any songwriting credits on any of the songs except for the Motorhead song, which is cool too. It's cool too.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think it was everything was Brock, and then I forgot the other. There was two other people that had songwriting credits, but this is the only one that Lemmy had anything on was the song Motorhead. But anyway, I mean that's what we have for the breakdown of this record. Now some background, which I thought was kind of worth talking about. They got signed to Atlantic Records. They were scheduled to do a North American tour, but Atlantic wanted them to put out a record beforehand, and up to this point they had no songs. They didn't have songs that they had ever played live, so they actually went into the studio and recorded this stuff without playing any of them live, which was unusual for them.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why we get a different feel to this record as opposed to the records before. So it was done differently. Not only that, I mean, this record took 6.5 days to record and mix. They did 3 days recording, they took 2 days off, and then they did another 3.5 days of doing overdubs and mixing the record. That's wild.
You need, dude.
6.5 days of actual work. 6.5 days of actual work. It's nuts. And then because we can't not talk about Lemmy, because Lemmy is God according to some people. But he was in the band. This is the last record he was on, and he was fired the day before this record came out. They were on tour in the U.S., but he was such a fucking tweaker, speed freak, that he was all strung out, and the band were sick of his antics, sick of his shit, and they pretty much just said I think they told somebody else to tell Lemmy that he's out, and then they just left him. They abandoned him in whatever Minneapolis or whatever
arrested.
fucking city. Oh, was that what it was? He got arrested?
He got arrested because he had a bag of powder that was like meth, and they thought it was coke. So which I don't like. Okay, was the punishment harsher or not as harsh? I guess
meth wasn't really a thing in the 1973 or 4.
But I wasn't alive back then, so I don't fucking know. But he got arrested, and they were like, "Dude, no, like, no.
And they ditched him. They abandoned him. They left him on his own.
Just like cold turkey, just
in
done.
the middle of America. I think it was like Minneapolis or Ohio.
Like, because I think it was crossing the border from Canada going into America.
So it makes sense. It was like Minneapolis or
so
like
one
Minnesota.
of those northern states.
Yeah. Fucking hell. But so that's what happened. And then as the story goes, Lemmy went back. He made his way back to England, formed Motorhead. And what was weird is like there weren't that many hard feelings between Lemmy and the rest of the band, outside of like the saxophone player who hated Lemmy, and even like that Lemmy documentary we watched when we like last year. Yeah. He was in the documentary talking about how shitty of a person Lemmy is and how much he hates him and this and that. But that guy's dead. It was like the saxophonist.
He just seemed bitter. Because like Lemmy, I don't know. You can, what you see is what you get. You talk to Lemmy for fucking 5 minutes. He's like, okay, I understand everything about you, but like you're still a cool dude, right? Like
that's what it seems like.
He's pretty fucking one-dimensional.
We talked about it on the Motorhead episode. Nobody ever had anything bad to say about Lemmy. Nobody.
No, because he's one-dimensional, right? He's not going to stab you in the back or talk shit. Like even his kid. Right, when they're talking like, oh, let's go fucking take a couple girls home, right? They're talking about twins or some shit. And it's like, damn, bro. Even to his kid, he talks to him like he's a homie.
Yeah,
like it's a weird you
remember
thing.
in the doc too, there was that moment where the interviewer asked Lemmy. It was Lemmy and his son were in Lemmy's living room, and the interviewer asked Lemmy, "What is your greatest achievement in life? Like, what are you most proud of?" And he's like, "My son, like." My son is my greatest achievement. Like there would be nothing without my son. And then it broke away to his son, like separately, saying like, my dad's never said that to me. Like and he was like visibly crying. Like, I can't believe my dad said that. But it was like such an earnest and honest moment. It was just like, damn, dude, I don't know. Yeah, Lemmy has some questionable, but he has some questionable moments. But overall, I think Lemmy is.
You're not surprised at it, right? He's a simple man with simple pleasures. He's driven by like 2 things in life. Like that's it.
3 things: sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the rock and roll part.
Yeah, that's 3 things, baby. But that's
literally which I don't even know if like rock and roll is a top. That's probably number 3 for him, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's still
was a top or 3 for him.
But I mean that was literally Lemmy. Like that was his whole life: sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
So to hate Lemmy is just like not understanding. Like I hate Hawkwind because they sound like space rock. It's like I hate Lemmy because you like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. People that say those 2 things are equally fucking stupid. So I don't know. We can wrap it up whenever you feel like it. What?
I mean the little insinuation, the little jab, but that's fine.
There's no jabs. No jabs.
There was a jab. I felt the jab. All right, and actually, so one last thing. Oh, on a jab. So one last thing, the artwork. I know we touched upon it at the beginning of the episode, but it was designed by a guy named Barney Bubbles, but it was under his pseudonym Eddie Brash, as well as a guy named Pierre Tubbs. I forgot what his pseudonym was, but it was done by those two guys. And honestly, the guy Barney Bubbles did most of their artwork through the 70s and I think early 80s as well. And I love the artwork. I fucking love the artwork on this one.
I think like this and then Hall of the Mountain Grill is like
those are the
peak for
two
them.
best. Yeah.
Like, they just look fucking cool. I think this looked better
Hands
because
down.
of the yellow pops and the blue pops. But it reminds you like Roger Dean for like Yes, like all the stuff that he's done for Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like very similar in that kind of style. Very, I don't know.
But I think
fantastical.
more fantasy driven, more fantasy looking than what the guy. What's the guy from Yes? I'm sorry, you just
Roger
said it.
Dean.
Roger Dean, yeah, but way
I'm
more
sorry.
fantasy than Roger Dean. I'm really not sorry.
I know.
I just can't help but say it. But anyway,
But that's very professional. You just said that. It's just like it came out natural. I'm sorry. What did you say? You
because
probably
that's
say
what
on
I
the phone when you're
that's what I have to
talking
do at
somebody,
work. Yes,
Yeah.
that's I'm in sales.
You're
That's
not
what I have
actually
to do.
sorry when you say
No.
that shit.
No, but in sales you have to.
You can't be like,
pretend.
what?
What'd you say, guy?
What?
Huh? That was it was too professional for this. Oh, God,
It
dude.
was.
Sales
I'm sorry, what'd
sucks.
you say? That was
Sales
weird.
sucks. But
I don't
Just
think
gotta do it, pay the bills.
I feel like you're heist or shysting me or something or fucking.
that's a salesman. You don't even call him See, I'm doing it still. You don't call somebody a salesman. You call him a salesperson, or you call him an account representative, or you call them a business development.
Do you not call them a salesman because there's also saleswomen, or do you not call them a
Yes.
salesman because it has just negative connotations
Both,
of just someone
actually.
who's trying to fucking hustle you?
Both. But that's why it's called business development now. It's not called salesperson or salesman. It's called business development.
Business development. That's a good. That's a good.
That's
I like
technically
that.
my title is business development manager. That's literally my title at work.
That sounds pretty good though. Pretty good.
It does sound pretty good. It looks good on my LinkedIn. Fucking hate that hellscape of a website, but it looks good on my LinkedIn.
Business development manager.
Yes, that is. It sounds so middle management and gross. Oh, it sounds so gross.
Like the more syllables you can just mesh into a title, the better. And especially if like it makes sense like on the surface, but then you really think about it, the more or the less it makes sense, like the better, because nobody questions it, right? Because
Yeah.
they go, well, maybe I don't know a lot about business management or some things. I want to question it.
It's so stupid. Dude, corporate world, corporate America is just disgusting and
It's true.
it's so gross. Anyway, so yeah, Barney
That's it.
Bubbles did the artwork, and I just
Bubbles.
want to say he did a fantastic job. And I just read through his Wikipedia. The guy died at 41 years old or 43, suicide, because he was just losing. Nobody wanted to work with him anymore because it was too fantasy style. His work was too fantasy style, and we were getting into the early 80s, and it was much more corporate. It was much more just gross. Like everything started changing in the early 80s, and it started to suck. And he committed suicide. He put a bag over his head and died from intoxication of like toxic fumes or something like that.
Which is
Some
like
crazy shit.
Which is crazy too, because we're talking, dude. Hypnosis was still huge. Yes, or Roger Dean was still doing from Yes in Asia, well into the 80s. So I don't know.
Still tragic. I mean, the guy
It's
died
tragic
at
for
41,
sure.
43, whatever.
Because
early
he made
40s.
some cool fucking art, man.
Great
Like,
artwork.
just the two records we just talked about, the Mountain King and Warriors, incredible artwork. So I don't know. I wish he did not do that because.
But apparently, like he was like really, really in debt. Hadn't paid his taxes in like several
Yeah,
years.
big taxes.
Yeah. And this is taxes in the UK. I don't even know what it's like in the UK.
Probably a flat tax at like 80%.
But people get like, remember like Rolling Stones didn't pay their taxes for several years, and they couldn't even go back to the UK for almost a decade because they didn't pay back taxes. Like the UK is insane. Can't even get back in. I don't know.
I mean, maybe you can get back in, but you're just getting arrested. I mean, you can be a
you're
tax exile here too.
That's true. Yeah.
Like we're not gonna come get you, but if you come back and like we're gonna get you then.
I guess maybe you just don't hear it as much here in the States, being a tax exile, as you do in the UK. I feel like
Because nobody wants to leave here. Where the fuck are you gonna go?
I know, that's right. Gonna go to the
Go
UK?
to the UK? That's so stupid, you know? Oh God, yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was so stupid.
Exactly. Fucking hell, dude.
Oh fuck, man, that was good. That was good.
That's 100% true, though. That's exactly why tax exiles are really fucking America.
God damn. All right. So we're good with Warrior on the Edge of Time from Hawkwind. Let's get into we've kind of already talked about our final thoughts, but let's kind of wrap it up there and then rate the record based off of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album to give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. What do you got? Go.
You got a friend, but you got to take this fucking Lemmy level, right? Just surface, basic. What you see is what you get. There's nothing really deep here. It just sounds fucking cool. Sometimes things can just sound cool. Sometimes movies can just look cool or not be like very good, but they're still cool to look at. Like this is it, right? You don't need 7 of these records. I don't know why I have so many. They're all cool though.
I don't know why you have them either.
I enjoy them all. It's just there's not much here. 2.25, 2.25.
That's high.
I do think that's high, but it's still fucking good. It's a cool story. Everything about it is it's just cool, man. Like Bob Odenkirk in The Office, just cool.
It's cool, man.
Cool. It's cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
All right. So yeah, Warrior on the Edge of Time and Hawkwind in general. I think the passion is there. I think the concepts are there, but I think the delivery, the overall, just the delivery of it all, I think is B tier. I don't think it's the greatest. I don't think it's the best, and that's fine. It doesn't need to be. We all need our B tier bands, and that's where they sit here. But it's just because they invented the space rock thing, you got to throw more points at them, and I'll do that.
You got it.
And Warrior on the Edge. There is some fluff. Honestly, you could bring this down to like maybe 35 minutes and have a more concise record, a better record, because there is some fluff on here. But with that and everything else said, I'll give this a 1.75 out of 3.
1.7 motherfucking 5.
Yeah, I would give Do Re Mi a 2 out of 3 because I would potentially get that on vinyl. But Warrior on the Edge of Time, no, 1.75. Not vinyl worthy for me, but still fun to listen to. A fun listen.
Good fun listen.
Yeah, I'm not a Hawkwind guy.
Honestly, in Mastodon thoughts aside, it was a nice change of pace. A lot of aggressive metal in the
We've
prog.
done a lot of aggressive, yeah.
And it pretty much like peaked with BT Bam. It was nice to kind of get back into just other prog that isn't just metal.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. And because you and I were talking about what we should do instead of Mastodon, and we were looking at like the top 50 prog bands of all time, and some of them I'd never even heard of, and the other stuff it's like the other half we've already done, or it's just like this just sounds really fucking boring. And Hawkwind,
like Gong was on there,
yeah.
Mondool's on there. Like I just don't want to do those things.
No. And it's like we've done Yes, we've done Rush, we've done so many bands ad nauseum, but
I don't want to do like Porcupine Tree. I don't want to do like Pineapple Thief. I don't want to do
Dream
Spock's
Theater.
Beard. I don't want to do Dream Theater.
Yeah,
I don't want to do things that are like just.
We even talked about
for
doing
just being technical.
We also talked about doing Meshuggah, but Meshuggah is just like math. Like it's heavy. It's great, but it's just heavy. Even doing like Animals as Leaders, we could have done them, but it's just too much. There's not. It's incredible music, but there's not enough to talk about for Animals and Leaders.
It would be all work and no fun.
Yes, that's kind of what it is.
This was all fun and no work.
Well, I mean, it was a little bit of fun, a little bit of work. It was just
This
like
was all fun. Get the fuck out
it
of
was
here.
not
This is like going to see like Captain EO at fucking Disneyland. They put on Hawkwind. Like, yeah,
Captain
dude,
EO.
do
Like
it.
what the fuck?
That's
I
what this is
guarantee.
like.
I guarantee you never went on Captain EO when you were a kid.
Were you
When you
joking
were a
my
little
ass right
kid,
now?
you went on
Are
Captain
you
EO
joking my
when
ass
you were
right
like
now?
7 years old. You did not go on.
Absolutely. Are you joking my ass right
They
now?
replaced Captain EO, like I think in like 1996 or 1997.
Please.
You really went on Captain EO?
Of course I did. I've been on Captain EO at least 10 times.
No.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. Anyway, that we're getting super hyper local at Disneyland here. Don't cover the mic. So anyway, that's all we have.
You're about to get something. You're about to get something.
We've recorded an hour and 3 minutes right now, but I doubt after all I edit out or the pauses and all that kind of shit when we've taken breaks, this is not even going to make an hour. So, but that's fine. It doesn't need to.
That's the way she goes, boys.
It is the way she goes. Thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. And that's it. That's all.